Well, let's move on to topic number 4. This is from Spots. Hey, y'all. While Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse might be a year away, we've gotten some updates regarding the film. Jorma Taccone has been selected as the voice of the Vulture. We also got our first look at one of the villains of the film, Spot, voiced by Jason Schwartzman. For those who are unaware, Spot's body is covered in interdimensional portals that can send him anywhere he wants to go, while also making portals appear out of thin air to transport someone to somewhere else. John Spot seems like a really interesting villain considering the multiverse nature of the films. So what are your thoughts on this? Well, thank you so much for writing that in, Spots. Yeah, bringing in this interdimensional villain makes a lot of sense given the plot points of this film. However, what a deep cut.
A deep cut.
This is Dr. Jonathan Ahn is not featured very often. Very, very rare appearance in the animated Spider-Man series back in the 90s.
Like one.
Yeah, just one episode, a one-off. A few times kind of dances with the Sinister Six and things like that, but really a total D-lister if we're talking about the hierarchy of villains here. So it's pretty surprising to have him in the mix. Let's learn a little more about him, though. Let's go over to IndieWire. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in theaters June 2nd, 2023, stars Jason Schwartzman as Batty the Spot, inspired by an ink blob on canvas. Co-directors Joaquim Dos Santos, Kent Powers, and Justin K. Thompson unveiled the character, voiced by Schwartzman, during an Anarchy presentation that included 15 minutes of progress footage screened for the first time. The Spot is one of the deepest cuts in Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery, co-director Kemp said, as first reported by Variety. But he has a superpower that really excited our entire team. His entire body is covered in little interdimensional portals that can send him anywhere he wants to go. Now, Rob, we got to see a little footage at CinemaCon that was so fucking cool.
Oh, no, from the first trailer they released, I'm very excited for this movie. The Into the Spider-Verse, I loved. John didn't like it when he first saw it, and then it became one of his favorite movies of that year. I loved it. I thought it was incredible. The look of the whole thing. Speaking of Akira, what I loved about Across or Into the Spider-Verse was the way they animated light. The urban, and the first time I'd ever really seen it was in Akira, the way how neon city street lights were animated. And I loved the style of animation. I loved Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah, it's
so
gorgeous.
The idea that they have a villain that can travel interdimensionally, like they brought, like it was so. I was like, I had vague memories of the Spot. I'm like, I know there was an animated episode with him in it, and then I went and looked him up, and I'm like, I get why they picked him, because who knows? I think this movie is going to be even more bonkers than the first one.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we got to look at a version of the Vulture, and that in itself was wild.
Yeah,
So fun to see.
And then seeing Spider-Man 2099, in the original trailer, I can't wait to see this movie. I think it's going to be great. I have a very high hopes. I mean, it's coming off the Academy Award win of the first film. What's not to love? And I love Jason Schwartzman. I mean, I can hear how he'll do that voice.
Absolutely. I love him as a bad guy too. I think one of my favorite performances of his is in Scott Pilgrim.
Oh yeah.
And he is just so smarmy and fun, and I'm really excited to see him bring some of this to this film.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him doing a little Rushmore action.
Oh,
just bringing a little bit of that character, but making him a bad guy. I think this is going to be a great movie.
I'm really, really hyped about this. But guys, what about you? Are you excited about The Spot? Did you know who The Spot was? Are you excited about Jason Schwartzman? Let us know about all those things right in the comments, all right?
Guys, we want to take just a minute and thank the sponsor of this video, Masterclass. Masterclass is offering classes on a wide variety of topics, like all taught by world-class masters at the absolute tops of their field. Each class is broken down out into individual video lessons, usually like around 10 minutes or so long, and members can explore at their own pace. And each class is supported by downloadable materials, lessons, recipes, or more that you can all find at masterclass.com. For example, are you into streaming? Well, you can take the Building Your Streaming class taught by Ninja so you can sharpen up on your streaming skills. Or if you're interested in independent filmmaking, take independent filmmaking from Academy Award winner Spike Lee. You want to get classes on how to direct? How about from Ron Howard? The very first one I personally looked up and got into was Business Leadership by the great Big Papa Iger, Bob Iger himself. And I was absolutely enthralled with it. I love every single minute of this stuff. If any of those apply to you, you need to try Masterclass. So I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every Masterclass. And as a John Campea Show viewer, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea. Once again, to get 15% off your annual membership, go to masterclass.com/Campea.